Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. And today, exciting news. Polysign subsidiary receives New York State banking license. Well, not a full banking license, but a limited purpose trust charter, as only one of 9 digital asset institutions that have received this in New York State. So this puts them up there with the likes of your Fidelities and your Backs and your Geminis. So this is a huge, huge deal for Polysign, digital asset space, and for XRP as well. And we're going to go into what does that all mean. So let's move over here to, let's first go to Polysign's Twitter. So Polysign has put out their second tweet of all time. So after back in April 2020, when Larson got the beer flu, here's their second one. So they go, "We are thrilled to announce that our subsidiary, Standard Custody, has received its charter to operate under New York State banking law as a regulated, qualified custodian for financial institutions." So what does this mean? That's what we're going to dive into. So let's just break down some of the structure of Polysign. So Polysign is the parent company. And now that's the one that is funded independently from Ripple. Now they have Arthur Brito and David Schwartz created Polysign, and they have board members of the likes of Tim Keeney from BNY Mellon, and their CEO Jack McDonald is one of the biggest asset managers in the world and is an Asset Management Hall of Fame. So they have the experience on these both sides, the digital asset technology side and then the capital markets asset management. And they kind of brought that together. So underneath the Polysign umbrella and that Polysign Incorporated, you have Standard Custody and Trust Company. Now this is what got the trust charter in New York State just now. And this was released a couple hours ago. And it made it to Business Wire, and we're going to go through that. But I just want everyone to know there is a private blockchain that Polysign Inc. also has created. Now, we don't have full details on that yet, but Standard Custody is just one subsidiary under this umbrella. All right, so let's go into the article here about what it talks about. So, Standard Custody and Trust, an institutional-grade custody and settlement platform for digital assets, announced that it has received a charter status to operate under New York State banking law as a regulated qualified custodian. The New York State Department of Financial Services charter permits Standard Custody to offer custodial and escrow services for clients seeking to unlock the value of digital assets and open new investment opportunities across the world of decentralized finance. There it is again. Decentralized finance. So when they say here institutional grade, that's going to be for institutional grade. But it doesn't mean that it excludes retail completely, because these are solutions being put in for different enterprises, institutions, and corporate clients that will allow them to offer services then to their retail customers. So it all works down the chain here. All right. So I just want everyone to know that. But it is focused on institutional grade. That is a fact. So institutional investors have been drawn to this massive potential of digital assets and decentralized finance, but deserve an equally revolutionary custody and settlement solution to meet the demands of a global digital asset marketplace, says Standard Custody board member Tim Keeney. And everyone should remember who Tim Keeney is. He was the former vice president of BNY Mellon, who manages trillions of dollars, tens of trillions of dollars in global assets. The charter from New York State Department of Financial Services enables Standard Custody to serve investors in compliance with the rigorous security measures required for institutional grade service, enabling us to bridge traditional finance services to help grow an ecosystem where digital assets thrive. So once again, the same vision, bridging the traditional markets with the digital asset markets in a regulated, compliant, institutional grade manner. Now, just so everyone wasn't aware, this isn't a surprise that they received this trust charter. This was pending for over a year and a half. And we've covered this in previous videos that it's been a year and a half and we're waiting on this to happen. So this is one of those dominoes that fall. Now, this is a completely separate entity from Ripple. And yes, they'll probably be XRP centric, but they're going to be all of digital assets. All right. So let's move on, because there's some good details in this article. Standard Custody was founded and designed by leading innovators and technologists from traditional capital markets and pioneering cryptocurrency companies. So we got Jack McDonald, we have Arthur Brito, and we got David Schwartz. And Tim Keeney from BNY Mellon. We also have a couple former Ripple employees on there as well. And also on the board has some BNY Mellon guys. Standard Custody's security program combines proprietary blockchain technology, end-to-end encryption, and distributed trust protocols to protect secret keys. Standard Custody's integrated escrow platform enables investors to buy and sell digital assets directly from custody, reducing the risk of external transfers and inefficient transactions between multiple accounts and different providers. Standard Custody facilitates 24/7 investor market access with improved security and capital efficiencies. So let's not get too caught up in the word escrow here, because Polysign cannot custody the XRP escrow. The escrow from XRP ledger is custodied by the XRP ledger. So before I even talk about this, I just want that to be known. The escrowed XRP of 45 billion is custodied by the XRP ledger. Okay? All right. Now we move on to Polysign. So basically what they're doing is allowing a settlement platform. So moving assets from different exchanges, typically like what ODL does, and different capital market products. They're creating a settlement platform. All right. I mean, they don't give any specific details, so I'm not going to speculate too much on that. And they also say that it could be between multiple, it removes the risks of external transfers from different multiple accounts. So you think of all these market makers who have different accounts with different exchanges. Having that settlement between all of them is important, and that counterparty risk is real. So Standard Custody eliminates some of this. Earning our trust bank charter from New York State Department of Financial Services is a testament to Standard Custody's regulatory and compliance excellence, said CEO Jack McDonald. Standard Custody is the only custodian to utilize third-party transaction verification and build its platform on a combination of, listen to this, smart hardware security modules and novel blockchain technology, resulting in a revolutionary, better than cold storage institutional custody solution. So what is smart hardware security modules? So think of something like your Nano Ledger, but that's smart. I mean, I'll do some more research into that, but it's definitely going to be a big upgrade from that. Think of something that's cold storage, but you could access and utilize all the time. Not like a vault on Coinbase where it takes 3 days to get it out. This is next gen technology here, because you're going to need to utilize these assets. They're not just off of cold storage anymore, because like ODL for payments and for decentralized finance for using as collateral and other type of financial products that will be created, this is an absolute necessity to be able to access those assets on demand, not in 3 days. That's not what a vault in the future is going to look like. All right, moving on. In granting this charter, they go into decentralized finance here. Our team brings together unmatched expertise in the worlds of banking, regulatory compliance, and blockchain to deliver an unmatched custodial and escrow settlement solution that will define the way institutional investors interact with the world of digital finance. In granting this charter, the New York State Department of Financial Services conducted a comprehensive review of Standard Custody's business, including the company's front-to-back security and its operational flows, as well as its comprehensive compliance programs, policies, and procedures. So something that has been in stealth behind the radar, obviously doing enough business and volume within the RippleNet ecosystem and other types that they're able to conduct a comprehensive review. So it's not something that's just being spun up out of nowhere. It's already in use, and it was kind of in that process of transitioning to a regulated entity. So what's interesting about numerous things here we're going to talk about, and we're going to go into, they're only one of 9 institutions that have received this trust charter. This is not a long list. It's a very small list. So the end-to-end encryption, we know where that's coming from, and the distributed trust protocols for securing secret keys. This is that crypto conditions. If you watched the last video, you would understand that Codius played a role in that whole idea of crypto conditions. Multi-signature, multi-layer, multi-algorithm. And we're going to do a video in the next week or so on that. So I'm just getting everyone used to the terminology. So when we get into that video, you'll have a basic awareness of the terms at least. So eliminating the risk of external transfers and integrating escrow settlement programs. Now, integrating escrow settlement, I'm being purposeful on how I'm saying the word escrow. I don't want it to be confused with the XRP escrow. These are different types of escrowed services and settlement. Now, escrow is like a light smart contract, okay? So take that for what it is and what they could possibly be saying. Now, what I want to do is go through. These are the regulated entities. This is updated as of March 19th, so it's 2 months outdated. So on here is not standard custody yet, but you can include them in this limited purpose right here. Limited purpose trust charter. So Bakkt has one. Let's see who else has one. BitGo just got theirs in March of 2021. Who else has one? Coinbase, Custody and Trust, 2018. Who else has a limited? Fidelity, Gemini, GMO, and NYDIG. And this is the trust company and custodian that Chris Larson dealt with when he moved his XRP a couple months ago, and people pointed out, I think it was 6 months ago. Paxos also is another one, and I think that's it. So see the kind of class of who's up here. These are the big boys when it comes to digital asset custodies. You got your Bakkt, your Fidelities, your Coinbases, your Geminis. This is where standard custody puts them in. So now down here, XRP2 LLC, Ripple, has a virtual currency license already. And they have the money transmitter too, I believe. Maybe just not on New York State, but I know they have that too. And these are some of the others. This is all that New York State has given out to. You can see the list here. It's not very large. Even Bitstamp doesn't have a trust charter. And BitPay doesn't. Bitflyer doesn't. Who else on here? Arisax, they don't even have the trust charter. PayPal, they just have a conditional virtual currency. Robinhood, same thing. SoFi, Square. So this is really up here with the big boys when it comes to, this would be the next step before becoming like a national chartered bank. So what we were saying is like, okay, Ripple could become a bank. Well, this is why I've been saying for a while that if Polysign subsidiary was already applying to become a bank, this is already serving that purpose. Ripple's a software company. I'm not saying that one day they might not, but in the near term, there's no need to. This is a complete separate entity of Ripple. Ripple did not fund Polysign. Ripple did not fund standard custody. So this allows them, basically this is going to be probably the biggest, best partner Ripple could possibly have, to be able to do certain things as a bank that's detached from them as in funding. So they're completely separate entities, but they can operate as a really good partner. And this whole settlement escrow platform, we're going to wait before I jump to any speculation too much about it. But one thing I did want to go to here is a comment from Bob Way on the XRP chat about a year, maybe 2 years ago. He made this comment. So he writes, I think Polysign is really big for the XRP ledger and ILP RippleNet components as well. I'm not sure what features they have implemented for working with other coins or contract code. It is important to understand that banks, exchanges, and gateways, which we talk about here on this channel often because they're not going away, because they're part of the XRP ledger's core design, are all trusted with other people's money. Keeping that money safe requires scrupulous security practices related to XRP ledger secrets and ILP transaction signing keys. Institutions like these need to protect those. So this is very important how what Polysign standard custody are able to build is going to secure those secrets, those private keys, and that signing, so that not just those institutions themselves can participate in decentralized finance and digital asset trading, but so they can host wallets for their customers to do that. And a month or so ago, we did a video on Blocksets, who is building a turnkey solution to allow these type of design. And they're all going to probably utilize Polysign's core technology with single API plugins, so you can have white label solutions that are built off of this. But before I speculate too much on the specific platform, I just want to give everyone an overall view here of what's coming and our first domino to fall with this now. And the last thing I just wanted to go back to on this was the notion that it talked about bringing to decentralized finance. I thought this was really important that they mention this in here, because I've never seen Polysign or Standard Custody ever mention anything about decentralized finance. And now with RippleX having their whole DeFi division, Flare with the whole network being born out of basically DeFi being the first real applications being built on Flare, Standard Custody, just like Del Chain was, can very easily be one of the agents or gateways on the XRP ledger. Standard Custody now opens that all up. You have that regulated entity that can allow the integration into the XRP ledger. All right, so I want everyone just to understand what's going on here. Standard Custody, subsidiary of Polysign Inc. Polysign also has a third generation private blockchain. Now, Standard Custody uses the settlement and escrow platform, which could be part of the third generation Polysign blockchain, which, we could surmise here. But escrow, remember, the XRP ledger's escrowed 45 billion XRP is held on the XRP ledger. Escrow can't be custodied by somebody else. This is a different type of escrow settlement. All right, so before there's any confusion on that, I just wanted to state that 3 times I said it. So just to make that clear for everyone. But this is very exciting, and it also is important on how we get the capital markets and traditional markets liquidity into DeFi on Flare and the XRP ledger. As you think like the RA stablecoin here, for example, this was just released recently about how it's going to be issued on the XRP ledger. So you're going to be able to put in your FXRP into a Probity vault, issue this RA stablecoin right onto your XRP ledger wallet. Now that's pretty fascinating, and that's a big jump and something we've been talking about here on this channel for many months. And it's something for years has always been in the plan. As you could see, David Schwartz's stablecoin proposal always was about building some type of stablecoin that's decentralized, that is backed by actual assets, but it has the same unit of account as fiat. So it could do all the things XRP could do and be decentralized, but it has that unit of account of fiat. And that's going to be a powerful addition to the XRP ledger. So when like tokenized assets and other things trade on the XRP ledger, they're not going to be able to trade against just XRP. They're going to need that unit of account. And a decentralized unit of account is important. And having things like Standard Custody as a gateway to bring all that value in to Flare and the XRP ledger. So this is possibly big for Flare, and it's something to keep an eye out. And it's not really that far-fetched to think that Standard Custody won't play a role in as an agent here and as any other type of custodian or digital asset management platform that's going to connect their liquidity and market makers and exchanges to these DeFi protocols, because this is how you do it right. So you focus on, yes, retail, anyone can interact, but institutional, this is how you bring the big money in to the right projects built on the right foundation. And that's what Flare is. You have a lot of big XRP holders. For years, Ripple's been around and XRP's been around. They receiving oldest Spark. Well, now what do they do with it? Now they have Del Chain, Deltec Bank, and have Standard Custody and these others that will be integrated right in with Flare. And we have the coming Interledger network and open payments, which is soon to be launched in public, because that's where this all is, the internet of value, to connect all these blockchains together. I know a lot of people talk about Quant and Overledger and all this. I'm still looking into it, but Interledger still has the key open protocol. And with Codius on top, I see it could do all the same different things. I'm not going to go too much further into the quant thing because I know there is some there, and I'm going to keep my eyes open and research more with that. But at the same time, I don't want people to not remember that Interledger, Codius, all these things were built years ago prior with a long-term vision. I think digital identity and digital wallets is another thing that's going to come into play here. And with PayString, with the naming addresses, that's going to be a big part of what I think is coming from Polysign standard custody. So without speculating too much more, I'll leave it at that. And tonight, join us. It's going to be probably 8:30 or 9 p.m. I think we're going to do 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. We're going to do a live stream, and it's going to be with Patty XRP and myself. We're going to be covering the SEC response to John Deaton and the XRP community's intervention, also Ripple's response, and we're going to speak more about what Polysign and standard custody will mean for decentralized finance specifically and how it could integrate. So I'm looking forward to that. I am not a financial advisor, but I am Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.